Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to a video, and today we're going to be checking out the new Brother Hobby Returner R5 2207 2700 kV motors. So this is finally the R5 version of the 2207 motor that I've been flying for quite a while. Here is the R3 version. This just features the standard aluminum shaft and the set screw. It doesn't have the R5 features, so I'm really pleased to see that they have now moved the R5 design onto the 2207 size stator and not just the 2306. So just real quick, what you get, obviously in the box, the motor, and you get one bag, which comes with one low-profile lock nut there. It's got a low-profile lock nut, so it's a little shorter than normal ones, and you just get 4 screws. And the screws themselves are M3 by 7, so they're 7 millimeters long, and they use the 2.5 millimeter hex head instead of the 2 millimeter one. So it is nice that they include 7 millimeter screws instead of sort of the standard 6, because if we take a look at the base of the motor, hopefully you can see it's quite a bit beefed up. If you look at the R3 version, you can see it's quite a bit smaller, so it's more prone to bending and breaking on the bottom there. However, this was sort of the first version of the R3. They did roll out the new ones. All the new ones I've been getting have been coming with the thicker base as well, but it is nice to see that it's carried over there. So this is just a quick overview of the motor. There's going to be no flying or thrust testing here in the video, but this is probably the most excited I've been for a Brother Hobby motor in a while, now that they've run out the 2207 and the R5 design. So with the R5, it does come with a hollow titanium shaft that goes all the way through there instead of a solid aluminum shaft, so that makes it stronger and saves some weight. We do have, of course, the naked bottom design, and we do now have a set screw on the bottom, which is quite nice instead of the C-clip on the R3, so it's easier to remove your bells. And that just takes a 1.5 millimeter hex key. Alright, so I ran into a little bit of difficulty getting these screws out, just trying to take them out with the driver just out of the box. This is a high quality driver. The screws just stripped, so they are Loctited in, really tight in there, so the way to get them out is just take your soldering iron and place it on the screw, maybe put a little dab of solder in there and just heat it up nice and hot for a few minutes, and then I just took a pair of pliers and just gripped the screw and just backed it out, and it came out then. But it is kind of unfortunate to see that you do need to apply quite a bit of heat to soften the Loctite. So I'm not sure what type of Loctite they're using, but it still is able to come out, and now it shouldn't be quite as hard once I have it. So let's just take the bell off here and see what we have. So here is the bell design, nothing shocking there. The magnets themselves do have little lips that they're glued in the top of the bell, so that's nice, but they don't have a lip underneath to keep help them prevent from slipping down. However, I've never dropped the magnet, but that is something that I wish was there to help prevent them from slipping. But you can see the 4 millimeter titanium shaft hollow all the way through is there, nice and really beefy around the top here, so I don't think you're going to be bending this guy. And you can see the double colors looks really cool. One thing to note, the bell on this guy does look, it just looks bigger. The black ring actually is smaller than the other one, but the magnets are still the same size. But it's a little bit taller than the other one. Hopefully you can see this. It just looks a little bit like a beefier motor, even though it's not, because they raised this intersection up a little bit. I'm not sure why they did that, but I kind of like how this one looks a little bit more low profile, but that's nothing huge. If you look down here at the stator, we can see pretty much typical things from Brother Hobby. You have the thick gauge wire, very neatly wound and wrapped along there. Have very thin 0.15 millimeter stator laminations, and everything's good. One thing I don't like about this motor, as well as the R3 version, is this little lip across here. That's to help prevent keeping the motor wires down and not touching the bell. Let me show you better on this one. So you can see it keeps them down out of the way. However, this causes a problem because they're kind of getting squished now, because when you tighten this down, the wires have to come up. They have to come up here. Even with a ton of force, they can't really get them all the way flat. But they're going to go flat because of the way this is. So I really wish they would just take this off. And now it is easy to clip this since it's just aluminum. You can just clip that right off. I think it'd be better like that, but that's just sort of a downside I see to this motor here. Alright, so let's get the bell back on. There we go, and I'll put the screw back in. Okay, so I got the screw back in. Everything is sounding good. So let's get to the weight of this motor. So not only is it stronger with the hollow titanium shaft, everything about this motor makes it extremely light. And this is with 160 millimeters of wire here. So very long, definitely fit all 4-in-1s on your quad. And it's 20 gauge wire, so let's just get it wrapped up here. So the motor weighs 32.4 grams. So with all that wire, that's quite impressive. If we look at the R3 with the same length of wire, that's coming in at about 32.7 grams. So it's actually not as light as they're advertising. They were saying it's like a 28 gram motor bare without the wires and a 30 gram motor with the wires. So that's quite interesting, but it's still definitely very light. Pretty much the lightest 2207 on the market. Don't claim me to that. I'm just saying it's a really nice weight for this class. So if you're like me, you're probably thinking that the 2700 kV is quite a bit high on this guy. However, if you take a look at other motors that are rated to very high kV, especially 2207 large stator size motors, they usually test 50 to 80 kV lower than what they're rated. So this is probably going to be more like a 2600 kV motor, 2650 max, I'd say. So that's not going to be too bad. And definitely, if you put this on a light build with the right prop, it should be having no problems. And speaking of the right build, I'm going to be running it on my Catalyst Machine Works America. So stay tuned for the build video on this coming soon, but it should be a really beastly motor on this setup here, so really looking forward to that. So yeah, that's going to bring us pretty much to the end of the overview here. Just some things I wish they would have changed. I wish they would have went with a 16x16 mounting. This is still a 16x19. That's just a little bit annoying. 16x16 is much better because it allows you to have holes instead of slots. I wish they'd get rid of this little crossbar here. And I wish the bell was just a little bit lower profile, but overall not many complaints here, very minor things, and this should be a really fantastic motor. I'm just really excited to bring it out to you. That's why I'm doing this quick overview, as when I saw that they're making the 2207 in the R5 version, I was really excited about that. So huge thanks to Catalyst Machine Works for sending these. There will be a link down below. They're quite pricey at $25. But if you still want the 2207 size, the R3, I think this is coming down to $20 or $21 now, is still a really great option. But if you want all-out performance and premium quality, going for this motor is going to be where it's at with the extra features that it brings. So yeah, that's the end of the video. Links down below. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.